Guys, Teacher Paul here, and today we have a request. This one comes from Susan, and Susan says, Swedish baking, modern pepparkakor. 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 No, pepparkakor. This is episode 2. This is from a channel called Cecilia Tolon. Modern pepparkakor. Am I saying that right now? Modern Swedish gingerbread cookies. They are so good, says Susan. Thank you so much. Tack så mycket, Susan. Let's check this out, guys.
Hey my dudes, my name is Cecilia and welcome to my kitchen here in Stockholm, Sweden. Today is the second day of our 12 Days of Christmas 2023. We are continuing with another Swedish Christmas.
How much pepper is there in a pepparkakor? I don't think there is any pepper. I think it's just ginger. But you guys know that ginger is considered spicy, right? So I think that's why it's called pepper.
Essential. Today we are making pepparkakor. Now those of you who were around for last year's 12 Days of Christmas might be a little bit confused because we definitely made pepparkakor last year as well. But those were my grandmother's pepparkakor, the version that I grew up with. Now imagine my surprise when I moved to Sweden and the cookies that I knew were
modern.
like completely different. Okay, not completely different, but different enough for me to be thrown off and surprised. I like to think of these as modern pepparkakor. This is the version you're more likely to find if you go to a bakery or the grocery store.
What if the modern that she says is actually ancient, is actually before the other version, you know?
Store here in Sweden. These are actually based off a recipe I used to make at a bakery I used to work at here in Stockholm.
Oh,
These
that's cool.
are
She's a
heavily
professional
spiced,
baker.
crispy, and addictive. Let's go make them.
Into a large bowl goes 200 grams of sugar, 205 grams of golden syrup, 150 grams of softened butter, 1 gram of salt, 5 grams of baking soda, 5 grams of vanilla sugar, 18 grams of cinnamon, 5 grams of ground cloves, 6 grams of ground ginger, and 3 grams of ground star anise. Mix all that together. Make sure to use softened butter. Imagine doing this with cold butter. What a nightmare. Switch to a whisk and pour in 150 grams of cream.
Let me just make a comment here. I was going to make a joke, but a lot of people would not understand the joke. So let me make a comment. As an English teacher, I used to have a lot of people ask me questions and confused about specific things that English has, right? And this is one of the examples. She said ground cinnamon, right? Now, my students would always ask, wait, so is there a sky cinnamon or a tree cinnamon, things that don't actually come from the ground? And that's not what they mean. Ground is the participle of grind, right? To grind something. But it's funny because people would just ask, oh, so what is a ground cinnamon and why is it from the ground? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So English has its interesting facts.
Mix until homogeneous and then add 625 grams of flour. Switch back to a spatula and fold together. You could do this in a stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment, but doing it by hand makes it easier for me to show you guys what I'm doing. The downside to doing it by hand is it's harder to get the dough to come together in the bowl, so I like to turn it out onto the counter and gently knead it together, just until there are no dry spots.
Knead.
Split into 4
You need
equal
to knead
pieces.
it.
Wrap each piece individually in plastic wrap, making sure to flatten it a bit before wrapping. Pop in the fridge to chill overnight.
Day 2, and you're going to want to take out one piece of dough at a time. We definitely don't want these to get warm as we're trying to work with them. It's really important that they stay cold. A little sprinkly of flour. We just want to roll out our dough until it's nice and thin, and you really want to make sure it's not sticking, so you can be fairly liberal with the flour at this point. I'm also moving it around fairly constantly. This helps me check to see whether it's even, but also I know it's not sticking at all on the bottom.
During the 18th century, ginger cookies did include pepper in its recipe. Really, that's why. Like Coca-Cola. But back then, they weren't as sweet as they are today. Maybe it wasn't sweet at all. Yeah, I know that coffee was also not sweetened. In fact, people used to put salt in coffee to enhance the bitterness. People, never used to drink sweetened coffee, and now Starbucks is, blowing up.
Sometimes I like to flip it over as well.
Is Starbucks popular in
You can
Scandinavia?
always use a large offset spatula to kind of just slide underneath and release it. You want it to be about 1/8 of an inch-ish thick, possibly even thinner. Today I'm going to be using my little man and my little lady. These are not quite as common as, say, a heart or a pig, but I already did those last year for last year's pepparkakor, so we're mixing it up a bit today. And you just want them to be as close as possible so you don't waste any dough. I like to pick up the extra dough with my mini offset. I could just go straight into picking up the men, but I just think it's easier to get rid of all of these edges first. Now all we gotta do is move these cuties onto the tray. Let's see how well this goes. Just wanna be real gentle. And do know that things like men and women, but especially men, can be a little bit difficult. Aren't men always a little bit difficult? Don't they always just make our lives harder? But because they have their limbs going out places, they're just a little bit harder to pick up. The
Susan,
women
are you
will be a little
saying
bit easier
Starbucks is
because
not
of their
real coffee?
skirts. Just FYI. And just like human beings, every single one of these is gonna look a little bit different, and that's okay. I like to kind of get underneath them and pick them up, flip it over onto my hand, and then flip it over onto the piece of parchment. It's just how it works in my brain to gently and easily move them. Whatever works for you, do that. Find your own system. This one was way more floury on the bottom, so I can just pick him up and gently move him like that. But if they're a little bit stuck, sometimes they can just be a little bit more on the fussy side. They don't expand super much, so while they do need a little bit of room to breathe, they're not gonna like flood out, so they can be fairly close to each other. Oh, okay. That guy just wasn't working with me. These go in a 375-degree oven for
Doesn't
about
she need
7
more
minutes,
flour?
or until they are golden brown.
So that it won't
While
stick?
our men are in the oven, let's work on our ladies. And you're gonna wanna try to be a little bit more
Let's see if
conservative
it's gonna
with
be
the
more-
flour when using the scraps,
difficult or
just
not.
because you don't wanna work too much flour into these. And you'll see as you go through the scraps and you're really starting to like reuse and reuse and reuse, you'll feel the dough get like slightly tougher every time. This is not, the end of the world, but it is just something to be aware of. What's nice is that with 2 trays and 2 pieces of parchment, you can really get into a system where one thing is in the oven and you're rolling out and cutting out another piece of dough, and then they kind of switch. So you can always have something in the oven and always have something baking, and you really kind of get into this nice flow.
Multitasking.
And as I said, because of their skirts, the ladies are much easier.
She wasn't kidding.
As soon as they come out of the oven, we just go shunk, 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 and directly in
Chung,
with the
chung,
ladies.
chung, chung, chung. Nice.
Also, I got the time a little bit wrong on these. I thought it was around 7 minutes, but they really took more like around
She
10
burnt
minutes.
the
The
men.
first round or two, you just really kind of want to watch them, see how long they bake, really kind of like check their vibe. And then once your oven is kind of going and you know exactly how long it takes, then you can really get into that flow I was talking about. I always like to bite their heads off first. I don't know, it's just the fun part for me.
Okay.
I feel like
It's a way of
pepparkakor
putting it.
are like Oreos. Now bear with me when I say that. You know how when you eat the first Oreo and you haven't had an Oreo for a long time? And you're like, oh yeah, I like Oreos, they're good. But you're kind of like, it's an Oreo, it's fine,
Nothing special.
whatever. And then you eat a second Oreo. And you're like, well, they're just so easy to eat. And like, they're good. I like the flavor of Oreos. And then you blink and you've eaten the entire packet. Like
Exactly.
the entire sleeve of Oreos, just like gone. You're like,
Have you guys ever
I'm not
ate
even that obsessed with Oreos. You just keep eating them, and
a full
every
pack of
Oreo, it's
Oreos?
not that they get better, but they kind of get better, and they just get more addictive, and you're just like crunch, 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 and then all of a sudden they're gone. I feel like Pepparkakor are the same. They're delicious, they're great, but I don't eat one and go, I'm now gonna sit down and eat the entire box of Pepparkakor. I'm just gonna have one, and that's nice, it tastes good. And then you keep eating yours and you go, I'll have a second one. The second one's good. I'll have two. And then you blink and you've had like 10.
Exactly.
Addictive.
Yeah.
And
Things like these are really addicting.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked today's video, then please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope that you have a great day. Hej då!
Hej då!
Get this recipe and 23 more Swedish Christmas classics in my latest ebook, 24 Days of Christmas, available for purchase on my website now.
So what is hej då? I've heard that you could say hey in the beginning and at the end of a conversation. So like hi and goodbye. It's kind of like ciao, right? Hej då. Hej då is goodbye? I thought hey was like in English. Hey, hi. But it's like in Italian, you can say ciao in the beginning and at the end. Good Yule, everyone. I don't drink coffee at all. The only thing I like is choc coffee. 50% chocolate and 50% coffee. Yeah, so I don't really like hot choco or hot cocoa. No. Chocolate coffee is hot. Mocha choca? What is the name of hot coffee with chocolate? Mocha choca? Is that it? I think so. But anyways, but I do like coffee with a little bit of milk, or maybe milk with a little bit of coffee. I don't know. Hey then, hi then. That didn't help to understand. Hi then. Okay, hi then means goodbye. Anyways, gingerbread cookies. I like them. I like cookies that have ginger. I like beverages that have ginger. You know, I think they are good. I really like ginger. What can I say? I like ginger beer. It's non-alcoholic, but it's nice. It's spicy. And ginger, I normally have ginger cookies with coffee. So this looks like a good recipe. And the fact that it's so thin and crispy, I like these type of cookies. Paul knows what tia means? No. I don't know what that means. Tia. We're going to find out soon, guys. I'm live on Twitch. Come join us, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you're going to eat pepparkakor this Christmas. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Go over to Buy Me Coffee or to Patreon to watch full movie reaction series, shows, concerts. Link is in the pinned comments. See ya.